Hey guys, welcome back to Mitza Creek Farm. I am Katie, and I'm back here in my basement. It's been a while since you've seen me down here. I have my spring supply order, and I need to get going on opening it up, figuring out what I ordered, and marking things off my list, and getting organized for seed starting. You can see behind me I have all my extra succulents from last fall, last summer. Down here, they're just kind of dormant here in my basement. I've been coming down and watering them a little bit and starting to wake them up for spring, which is very exciting, but I really need to get going on my seed starting. And this year I'm doing my supply order a little bit different in the fact that usually I place one big order and then a couple smaller ones, and I just do not have the mental capacity to sit down and try to figure out how much soil I need for everything and all the different pots and everything that I need for everything. And so this is just the stuff I'm going to need for my spring plant sale and getting stuff started for this spring. I did not have the mental bandwidth because I've been so sick. I've been really sick with whatever crud has been going around, so I've been just not able to function at full speed. So I needed to get this stuff ordered so that I could get this going ASAP. All right, so let's look at what we have. I have the Promix Premium Potting Mix. I'm using this instead of what we used last year. Was it called Sungrow? I don't remember. But I am doing the Premium Potting Mix instead of doing just the Promix in the big, huge bags. One, because this is easier for me to carry. Like I said, I've been sick and I don't have it in me to carry 80-pound bags of soil and move 80-pound bags of soil. So these were smaller, 36-pound, 2 cubic foot bales. So they're about half the size of my big bales. And these have fertilizer in them already, and they're just a good all-around potting mix. And so instead of starting off with just basic peat base stuff, I'm gonna go with something a little higher quality, so then that way I don't have to fertilize later on before my plant sale, and these guys will be ready for everything that I'm doing. Mum soil is a totally different thing. That is a bark-based soil, and so this is just for my plant sale and my starts. It is not organic. I did organic last year with the Sungrow or whatever brand that was, and I was not happy with the quality of the plants compared to what it has been in the past. So I switched to this just because it kind of checked all the boxes and was something that was going to be manageable for me and hopefully make life a little easier for me. And then next up is a whole bunch of daisy trays. So these are web trays, and there should be, I think, 50 here. And I'm gonna have these for my plant sale. It'll help in moving things around just to make things easier. But then also a daisy tray, when you order them in bulk like this, is about the same as the cardboard boxes. And so I figured that I would just add this onto my order, because then I'm not gonna be paying an arm and a leg to get the boxes shipped here on their own. And so I'm going to use up the extra boxes that I have from last year. I'm also going to encourage customers to bring their own boxes to put plants in. But then I will also have this. I went to a greenhouse last year and all they had were daisy trays to put their flowers in as you went through their different greenhouses. And it worked out really nice. So I figured that instead of me trying to avoid using plastic like that, because that's what I have been doing, I might as well go with something that is reusable and I can use for a lot of different things here on the farm. And they're cheap enough that if customers want to use them to bring their plants home, they can. I have no problem with that. And even better, if they bring them back, then I can reuse them again, or they can reuse them again. So this first box is this 3 square 400, and I ordered 3 1/4 inch extra deep square pots, 400 in a case. And so I'm hoping that they are 3 1/4 inch. That looks exactly like the size I wanted. I will have to measure those and just double check. And I actually have 2 of these because the other ones came in, or the ones I was going to go with, came in boxes of 800. and these guys came in boxes of 400. So I have 2 of these boxes here. All right, so next up is this box here. This got torn when I was carrying it in. I totally remember doing that. This is a teapot pack 6-handle hole. Oh, I remember what they are. So these are some, see if I can pull one out, 6 packs, and they are bigger than like a normal 1206, 1204 type tray like that. These are a lot bigger. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have different varieties of plants growing in here. I'm gonna do like a pizza one, and so it'll have basil and tomatoes and something else in here. I don't quite remember. I have the list written down. I just don't remember what the details were. I'm gonna do a salsa one, so some peppers and cilantro and tomatoes, and then maybe I'll do some different tomato packs in here. So you know, like do 2 paste, 2 slicer, and 2 cherry or something like that. So that's why I have those. And these are a lot heavier duty than what I was expecting, so that is good. I was expecting them to be super flimsy like the 1204, 1206 pots, but they're actually thicker. They do have handles that can go here, but that was an extra cost. I had to order, I think it was 100 of them for $34. And I just didn't want to pay that, and I figure there's probably not many people, especially if there's going to be tomatoes in here, there's probably not many people who are going to grab them by the handle. So I did not get the handles. If I need them, I can order them and they can be here really quick. So that to me was not that big of a concern at that point. All right, and this last box here is trays to carry the pots in, and this is a 4x5, so it holds 20 pots. And I've really found the last couple of years that it is super helpful to have the tray that fits the actual pot instead of trying to use 10-20 trays, because when you start getting these filled with soil and then the plants start getting taller, when you put them in a 10-20 tray, they will definitely fall over super easy. You break plants, you damage plants. It's hard to keep everything organized, and so this is really nice to have for whatever size pot you're using. So when I get to the point where I'm potting up in here, I literally will fill this with all of the same variety. I'll put my plant in it, and then as I move things up from my little greenhouse to the high tunnel and put them out for sale and all of that, I will actually keep them in this tray, and it'll make things so much simpler. So that is what I bought for getting all of my starts ready and for my spring plant sale. I am getting some other pots in once I kind of figure out more on larger size pots that I am going to be selling, like full-size tomatoes, lettuce bowls, herbs, that kind of stuff. I have to do an inventory down at my little greenhouse of all of my pots because I want to try to use up what is left down there. Did a really good job of that last year, but I still have a handful of things, and so I don't think I'm gonna need to buy in bulk like this. I could buy in smaller quantities. So I really am trying to use up what I have, and then that way things are a little more organized and efficient. I'm really liking this 3-inch pot size. That is absolutely wonderful. It's perfect for what I need. Not too big, not too small. I like that they're longer than they are bigger across because it'll still give a lot of rooting space, so the plants will get big, but they're not taking up nearly as much space and as much soil. They're probably about a third less of soil than the pots I used last year. So that is a really good thing. I'm trying to find a way to make this so that it actually will become more profitable. And instead of me having to spend so much on soil, so much on pots and all of that, what is the most cost efficient way and most time wise efficient way to do this? So that's kind of I'm tweaking things this year instead of going with what I did last year. I wrote everything down and I'm just trying to adjust and tweak. So that is my first order of the year. It feels good to be able to get some of this going and some of this done. It really has been a really long, exhausting winter. Even though the weather hasn't been bad, it just feels like we've just been constantly sick, and I just don't have the energy that I've had in the past. And so I'm really looking forward to getting this going and moving ahead into spring. That is it for today's video. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys next time.